We certainly are concerned about what goes on in our community. And one of the things that's happening in our community now is that there is a lot of youth violence. And we're concerned that we get something that's impressionable for our young people that will encourage them to find other ways of handling conflict other than through violence. So when we became aware of the possibility of this exhibit, we thought the images were very impressionable and that this would be something that maybe would make our youth really think about the whole issue of violence before they actually get into it. So for that reason, we wanted to bring it here, get as many children and youth to come out as possible to see the exhibit with the hope that there would be a turnaround of the number of violent acts with youth that's happening in our community. Okay, the exhibit is titled Killin Kin. And of course, if you look at the initials, it stands for KKK. And that gives the impression of a past in our history that will probably make people think, what is this really all about? It's about black on black crime. James Pate is the artist. He's from Dayton, Ohio. He became very concerned about this, and as a result of that, this is how all of these pieces of art have evolved. So as he became more concerned, he added more pieces to the collection. There are 13 pieces in the collection. And we're just very proud to have those pieces here. We will have the artist here during the time that the exhibit will be on display. And we feel that this is a great opportunity for our community and especially for our young people. Most of all, I hope that they will take away that this crime that's happening in our community, this black on black crime, is fracturing our whole society. And that as you look at these pieces, as impressionable as they are, that's what's happening to our community. And if we continue to have this crime, this repeated incidents of crime that we're seeing, we're further fracturing our community. And we want to build the community instead of fracturing it. And I hope that the young people will be able to see that in these images and that they will rethink getting involved in crime, that they will talk to their peers about crime, and that they will find other ways to solve problems other than through violence. Our young people are not progressing. They're interfering with their ability to progress as productive citizens. When they become involved in criminal acts of violence, whatever they are, they're taking time away from what they could be doing to improve themselves for the future. As an educator, I certainly am concerned about that because I want to see kids always moving forward. Things like this cause kids to move backwards. And if we're really going to make an impact in our world, we're going to have to encourage our young people to continue to progress and not get involved in things in life that certainly will be happening, but things that they can move themselves away from and become more focused on a productive future. Well, when we decided that we wanted to invite the artists to come to our community, we felt that that was an opportune time for the community to have a conversation around this whole topic of youth violence. What are the root causes, and what are some community solutions? And so as a result of that, on February 19th, the artist will be here. He will do a presentation at Neal Performing Arts Center. And following his presentation, there will be an engagement of people from the community representing law enforcement, representing education, representing mental health, representing psychological services, and representing the religious community, because we feel that the ministers certainly can have an impact on what's happening with our young people. And we want them just to become engaged in this youth violence. What's causing this? And along with the cause, what are some things that we as a community can focus on as solutions to the problem? So we feel it's an opportunity for the community to come back, come out, be engaged in that conversation, and really maybe we can come up with some real solutions that can make a difference for our community. We certainly want to reach out, and we already have. We've reached out to those agencies in the community because those are agencies that are working with our young people every day. And if they can engage them in activities that's going to make a significant impact positively on their lives, those are things that we want to encourage them to do. So we've made contact with these agencies and we've said, you know, join us in this effort, bring the young people out. Let's have a conversation with them. Let's hear some of what they consider to be some of the issues that maybe as adults, maybe we're missing that. So we certainly want them to bring the young people out. We encourage parents to come with their children. We are open a number of hours during the week, but we're also saying, hey, we're willing to be open more, just so our community can have that opportunity to come out.
Yes, my name is Kathy Marsh. I'm the museum specialist here at the Family Heritage House Museum, located on the campus of State College of Florida. The museum was started actually as a non-circulating library almost 25 years ago. Started in a little trailer by Mr. and Mrs. Ernest and Freddie Brown, and they wanted to be able to read to youth in the community and show their artifacts that they had collected over the years. The exhibits got so large that the president of the college decided that it needed a permanent facility. So we moved into this wonderful building almost 15 years ago. So it has been a wonderful relationship with State College of Florida. We have expanded by people's donations, and now we have a traveling exhibit, which we are so happy to share with the community. Powerful exhibit for the youth to understand what's going on in the community and how it impacts their lives. That's correct. We do have a lot of internal exhibits like the Negro League, and we have exhibits about Africa and different things over the years that we have presented. We did have the Foundation for Jackie Robinson come and do a presentation a couple of years ago. So we try to do different things that will reach different people in the community to expand, to let people know that it's really not Black history, it's American history performed by African Americans. So that's our goal, is to get the history out there, because we know that some of it just does not make the history books. So, well, as I stated, Mr. and Mrs. Brown had a marvelous collection, a personal collection. And then we have people that just come by and say, you know what, I have this wonderful piece of history that I would like to donate to the community. Now, sometimes we get a lot of items. We have some things that we have to put away because our space is limited. However, we like to bring things out at different times for different occasions to, just to show the atmosphere. There are permanent items in here that stay out at all times, and other items that we kind of switch out to give a better variety, so to speak, of what the history is all about. We like to share different things so that it can reach different people, for the youth, for middle-aged, for the older seasoned adults. So we want the community, specifically the young adults, to understand that the black-on-black crime is really extensively expanding, and we want it to cease. We want to be a part of the people that make this come to a stop. We know that's difficult, but it has to start somewhere. Unfortunately, we see, and Mr. Pate, the artist, has explained that between the years of 1882 to 1968, there were about almost 5,000 people lynched, blacks lynched. But in 2000, black-on-black crime was almost that much. So you see the difference in that many years, which is why it's kind of a touchy subject, but that's why he used the KKK, and then he expanded it to Killin Kin. But he wanted people to realize just how much black-on-black crime is destroying the African-American community. Sometimes we don't realize, we kind of stay in our little corner in whatever community we're in, and we don't realize, and the impact that it has on the young people, because they don't always even understand. They're in their little corner and they don't understand the severity of it. Ultimately, we want the young people to love themselves enough to realize that killing their counterparts, so to speak, is not helping anybody. We want them to realize that if they have a love of themselves, they'll have a love of their community. And if we can just start in this little small county and expand, and luckily, Mr. Pate has gone around the country and continues to do that with this exhibit. And things like this need to be expanded. So we want our community to realize that we're going to make every effort to stop the violence here in Manatee County and maybe expand that even further. Well, we try to get, as Ms. Edwards said, we try to get these, the local youth committees to bring their students here. We reach out to the churches who have youth groups. They bring their groups in. The community, the after-school programs, we've reached out to them. And we want to continue that. Unfortunately, we used to have a lot of students come in, but unfortunately, we're not able to have as many as we'd like because of budget cuts and so forth. So we are looking into the future to try to get some grants to pay for the buses for the students to come, so that when they come, they seem to really enjoy it. And we had a group last night that came in, and the students were like, I had no idea about this, and I had no idea about that, and so forth. So enlightening them brings a light to our community. So that's our goal. Well, I think shining a light on this college is pivotal because State College, previously Manatee Community College, previously Manatee Junior College, is just a wonderful access for youth to come to. Unfortunately, sometimes kids get to a point where they decide they need to go somewhere else. Well, this, to me, is the best bang for your buck. And you can come here and get a wonderful education. And I think reaching out to the community and making a name for ourselves that way is again, pivotal. We were a part of the MLK Day of Service. We received a grant, and we did a project called Preserving Our Heritage. So we are working now on getting access to Ancestry.com. For that grant, we acquired a new computer that people can come here to the Heritage House and research their history. So we're working on that. It isn't up and running as yet, but very soon we will be having access to that. So because we want to reach out to the community. So often people call me and ask me, can I research my history? Well, from now on, I'm going to be able to say, yes, you can, and so come in to do that. So that's our project now. Well, I think if we continue on this, the way we're doing with this, with different things that people come in, things that will make people think, that's the key. So any items we've been researched, Lynette Edwards, one of our directors, has been great about finding different projects. So we have some other projects coming up shortly that we'll be releasing the information after this project comes down. But in celebrating our 25th year, we want to do something big. So we feel like anything we do like this will help the community and help get the word about African American history, or the history of America performed by African Americans. Yes, it's called Turn of Endearment. And I'll let Ms. Edwards explain what that means, what the artist meant when he did this wonderful painting.
And I think his idea was all about hope, change, love. It's kind of our hope for the future. As you see in the picture, they're kind of looking back, kind of looking at the past, but moving forward. So for the beloved community that we're trying to achieve, we have to have hope. We have to be open to change. And I think that's part of what the artist is saying here. If we're going to move forward, if we're going to eliminate or reduce violence, that we have to hang on to hope, and we have to be willing to change.
The exhibit actually opened last week and will be here until March 18th. The artist will be here on next week on the 19th, February 19th, and we'll be again at the Neal Performing Arts Center at 6:30 p.m. If they need more information, you can contact me, Kathy Marsh, at marshk@scf.edu, or by phone at 941-752-5319. That is correct. We always have our exhibits free and open to the public because Mrs. Freddie Brown, Mr. and Mrs. Brown wanted this to be a community outreach, and we don't want to eliminate anybody from being able to see this wonderful museum. So our museum is always free and open to the public. Our normal business hours are 11 to 6, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. However, I will come in anytime you contact me. It's important for us, again, to do outreach, and I need to take this opportunity to thank Neal Communities for providing the funds to sponsor this wonderful exhibit, and also for the partnership with Bradenton Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. It's been a wonderful being partnered up with them and sponsored by Pat and Neal. We're so thankful to him for providing the funds for us to bring this wonderful exhibit and to bring the artists here. So one of the things, again, on this wonderful piece is determination, and we are determined to give our community what they need to be better for all of us.
I want our young people to have hope. I want them to be able to know that there are other ways of dealing with issues that they come up with in their lives other than violence. I want them to know that if they have dreams, that if they agree to change, and if they remain determined, that life will be better for them. And I hope that they will be able to see this through these images, which are quite impactful.